Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to do, per request from one of my subscribers, a video basically comparing, or the comparison between the Fender Jazz Bass and the Fender Precision, because I've played them both. I've actually played the P bass maybe for almost like 10 years, almost exclusively, with the exception of playing the Rickenbacker bass, which is my all-time favorite bass. So, a couple of years ago, I decided to just try some different things as far as my guitars and my bass. Because first time I played a jazz bass was years ago. We had a show, and my bass player, we were sitting in the lobby waiting to go on, and he let me hold his bass, let me play it, and liked it, and then gave it back. Then a couple of years ago, I decided to buy one because just really didn't play it that much to get a good overall assessment or view of it. And when I did purchase one, like I said, this one here just kind of blew me away because I didn't realize how easy it is to play the jazz bass, because the precision bass is not a bad bass by no means. But when I played the jazz bass, I came to this realization that the jazz bass is kind of the Telecaster of the bass group. And what I mean by that is my telly, I can get just about any type of tone. It feels good. That smaller neck is easy to play. And it's the same thing with this jazz bass. You can get all types of tones. And what I didn't realize then, which I know now, is the neck. Because on most guitars, the neck up here is the widest it is. And then it kind of narrows down sometimes because it's easier to play in the mid range as opposed to the high range and the low range and the high range. But they did something very unique with the jazz bass. They made the top smaller. I mean, look at this. I mean, I don't have big hands, and I can just put my hand around this whole neck here without any problems. And with a thinner neck up top makes it much easier to play, because just about any guitar player can agree with me. When you're playing guitar, the hardest dreaded chord is the F bar chord to run on the E string, because the neck is so wide, and if you're playing that bar chord for a long period of time, it's killing your hands. So with the jazz bass, the neck is smaller. So when you play up in a lower register, it's not that taxing on the hands. So that was a brilliant idea for them to design a neck like that, because overall the neck is smaller than most basses. And if you get your action pretty low and get some pretty decent gauge strings, because I didn't know about that for years, that bass strings came in different gauges like guitar. Nobody never told me. So if you get some lighter gauge strings and lower it down, you can play much better, quicker. So as far as the comparison, in a heartbeat, I would take the jazz bass now over the P bass. But again, the P bass is not a bad bass, but you can just do so much with this, and also I think this one was designed more for the thumping thing than the P bass. Because when I used to do the thumping thing on the P bass, I would have to literally change my strings once a week, and strings back then in the 80s was like $30. So we end up people started telling me, boil them, take them and put them on, put them in a pot and boil them and get all that dirt off there, and they almost go back to new, for like 2-3 days, and they go flat again. But I noticed with the jazz bass, when I get new strings, they stay kind of new and poppy for a long period of time. And just something about the pickups, just make it brighter when you're doing the thumping thing. Because I notice when I see gospel players playing, I love to watch gospel bass players, and they would be able to get both tones, meaning that the bottom tone for when they just fingering the notes, and then when they thumping them, get that bright tone. And normally when I play my P bass, I'm like, how's that possible? It's either one way or the other. You adjust it for that high, bright slapping thing, or you adjust it for that heavy bottom fingering thing. But when you play your jazz bass, you can actually kind of get both tones when you need them as you're playing. So again, to me, hands down, I would take a jazz bass, over a P bass. So that's my take on the comparison. So I hope this was entertaining and informative. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.